On the Paper Talk today, we're looking at Mauricio Pochettino's future and what that holds in store for him. And does it mean he could be heading to Old Trafford because he's going out the exit door at Paris Saint-Germain? We'll also be talking about a fantastic evening last night here at Old Trafford. Not often we say that, as the United youngsters went through to the FA Youth Cup final for the first time in over a decade. Let's check it out.
Right then, before we get to the news at Old Trafford with Jay, there has been some breaking news since that was recorded, and that is Roman Abramovic has been sanctioned. All his UK assets have been frozen, and Chelsea are no longer for sale. They can still operate under a special licence, but the sale is now on hold. The club will not allow to sell any more tickets. Only season ticket holders can go to games for the foreseeable future. There's all sorts of other things as well. The club shop is shut down. They can no longer sell any merchandise or anything like that. All sorts of sanctions coming here. It is, of course, for his involvement in destabilising Ukraine. That is according to the UK government. It says here that Evraz PLC, which is a steel manufacturing and mining company that Abramovich exercises effective control, has been supplying steel to the Russian military. So he has been effectively, like I said, they're destabilising and helping the Russian military in the war and invasion of Ukraine. So his assets have been frozen. I guess that means Abramovich is no longer in charge there for the time being, at least. Like I said, they will still be able to play. They will still be able to provide certain things like catering services on match days, but they will no longer be able to make any money through sales or merchandise or anything like that. And no transfers will be allowed to be made for Chelsea. No ins, no outs, no new contracts either. That's all from me. Over to Jay.
Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and it's a bit windy. It's not too bad though, it's quite mild. Probably barbecue weather here in Manchester. We'll get straight into it, quite a few stories to go through. Now the big story, and it is United related, even though at first glance it might not seem to be, is Mauricio Pochettino being under immense pressure at Paris Saint-Germain after their exit to Real Madrid last night in the Champions League. PSG went 1-0 up, looked like they were going to go through. I think they were 2-0 up on aggregate. Karim Benzema hat-trick saw Real Madrid win 3-1, go through 3-2 on aggregate, and PSG obviously out of the Champions League. Now, PSG are flying in the French league, we know that, but the holy grail for them has always been the Champions League. Let's not forget, you know, Thomas Tuchel won the French title. The next season, okay, they were second in the league, but you know, he got sacked. It wasn't like he was like untouchable, and I think a big part of that may have been the fact he hadn't delivered a Champions League. They do want to do well in the Champions League, and when you look at the summer they had, when they brought in the likes of Donnarumma, Sergio Ramos, Wijnaldum, Lionel Messi, everyone was like, this is the greatest transfer window in the history of association football. Surely they're going to sweep all before them. And listen, Real Madrid are a good team, but they're not the Real Madrid of old. So for Paris Saint-Germain to go out is a huge disappointment, and it has heaped pressure on Mauricio Pochettino. Now, there's lots of papers this morning talking about that, talking about how he could be facing a sack. The likes of The Telegraph have got it, Daily Mail, pretty much everyone, saying that him and Leonardo, I think who's the director of football as well, could be under pressure. There could be some talks on the horizon. They're expecting a big fallout from French media. You're already getting it, and that's going to add more pressure to him. Now, obviously, it's less than 24 hours after the exit. These things may take a little bit longer. There may be sort of a cooling down period where people go, okay, let's not be too reactionary. But Pochettino is under pressure, and certainly at the end of the season, I think coming into the season, it's unlikely that he's going to stay there at Paris Saint-Germain. He was already likely to leave anyway, but especially after the fact they've been knocked out of the Champions League, they were knocked out of the French Cup as well. They're only in inverted commas, going to win the league, which isn't good enough for them. I know they didn't win it last season, but they were looking to do probably more than just win the French league, if you can say just win the French league. And it's been a season of disappointments for them, so he could be looking for some talks there. He could be heading to some talks. He's under pressure, and one or two journalists suggested that could encourage him to come to Manchester United. He's always been a sort of favoured candidate here at Old Trafford by several members of the board, according to reports anyway, and this could help expedite that. Now, we know that Erik ten Hag is also a target. You just have to wonder what this means. Does this mean that United look at it and go, okay, Poch is available, let's get him? Does it mean he's even going to leave Paris Saint-Germain before the end of the season and a deal is done before the end of the season? I'm not so sure. It's one to definitely keep your eye on though, because Pochettino has been linked to United since about 2016, if not earlier, and I wouldn't be surprised if those rumours increase as the pressure piles on him at Paris Saint-Germain. Also, on the managerial front, there's a story doing the rounds this morning, and I've seen it elsewhere. I think it come from The Athletic, that the reason Manchester United didn't go for Conte was they'd heard bad things about him from some people at Chelsea. I mean, you can make with that what you will. Are Chelsea going to say to United, oh, yeah, get him, he's mint, if they think he is? No. They're probably going to go, don't get him, he's not very good, even if they think he is good, because why would they try and help him? But there was a sort of feeling, the report says, that he was another Mourinho, clashed with a lot of people, upset a lot of people, wants to do things his own way, almost like he's a football manager that would like to make football decisions. And at Old Trafford, we're not having any of that. We do things differently. So that's a little story there for you. Big story, the big news, we had this last night on the live show, was Manchester United through to the FA Youth Cup final for the first time in over a decade. Fantastic night here at Old Trafford. We had a couple of lads here. We'll be having a academy review later on today. Alejandro Garnacho, I don't know why I'm reading it. Alejandro Garnacho getting a goal, as well as Charlie McNeil with a brace. Love those players, love the lads. Well done. Restoring a bit of much needed pride to Manchester United after a pretty abject week. Also restoring pride was the women's under-21s, who were crowned even winners of the 2022 Women's Super League Academy Cup, following a 4-1 win over Birmingham City. The 3-0 win last night, by the way, in the Academy came over Wolves. I don't know if I mentioned that. This one by the Academy women was over Birmingham City. So a good night for United youngsters on the whole. Not a good night for Paris Saint-Germain, and that's heaped the pressure on Mauricio Pochettino, who could be heading to Old Trafford. Looks like he's set for some talks with his bosses at Paris, and we'll keep you posted on that one. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Hit like, share and subscribe. I've been Jay. This has been The Paper Talk outside a pretty breezy Old Trafford. Thanks for watching.